Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino, post-market wrap-up. I'm just cracking up looking at the comments here. You guys and girls are phenomenal, honestly. But anyway, yeah, post-market wrap-up Monday, June 10th, 2024. People, are you ready for this? We made history today. We made history yet again, a new record high for the S&P 500. Just as you and I have been saying, the faster that the global economy comes down, and it is in free fall, the higher the stock market is going to go. And I'm going to show you a bunch of stuff here that's going to allow you to get even a better perspective on this, as if you need to get a better handle on this. I mean, this is an environment. Uh, it's the distortions here that exist and are beyond anyone's wildest imaginations. The promise of more easy money, the thought of more easy money. We already understand what central banks are doing. ECB, the Canadian Central Bank, the Swiss National Bank, the Fed soon to follow. And this is a coordinated effort. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm sorry. Central banks don't coordinate. Oh, yeah, they do. To inflate by any means. And speaking of inflating by any means, again, wait till you see what I got to show you here. Let's start off with this. All right, so the stock market, S&P 500, new record high. Gold today put on a slight gain. Silver doing very well. Crude oil getting a bit higher very nicely, over 3% today. Cryptocurrencies relatively flat. The dollar higher. And that did put a little damper on the stock market rally here. But here's the issue that I want you to look at, and I don't like this at all. And I know you're paying attention to this. Hey, going back to the MMRI, look right here. We have moved above. I didn't want to see this. I did not want to see this. Honestly, we are now above that level. This is now where we need to keep our eyes on. If we continue to see this sell-off in the debt market, the stock market is going to hate it. You know that. But that's okay, because again, I still believe with all I got that as we move forward towards the presidential selection here, we're going to see a lot more easy money pumped into the market and exploding debts and deficits. Let me show you a chart here just real quick. This is this is insanity on a grand scale. This is a 3-decade chart here, federal government annual spending and revenue. I want you to pay attention. Let me fold this here. If you notice, we're pretty much running neck and neck. Then what happens here, where government spending went off the Richter scale right to where we are now? I mean, look, you could not run a business like this. Imagine running a deficit like this. It's beyond belief. Who's making? Here, look, let's just focus on this just so you can get a better picture of this. I want you guys and girls to tell me something, because I know you're all way smarter than me, because I can't figure it out. Who's making up the difference here between tax revenue and what we're spending? Let's think. Oh, yes, it's the Federal Reserve that's using every single mechanism that they can come up with, dream about, fantasize about, to pull more cash into the now. In other words, to inflate. This is insane. No business could run like this without going out of business. You have to understand, America, well, whatever's left of it here, it ain't much. This is a failed state. You can't do this. You could not run your household like this. But this is what's going on. And this mechanism, first of all, understanding that the economy here, Jeffrey knows exactly what I'm talking about. Thank you. Pump time, exactly. The economy is contracting around the world. Hold that thought. Let's go back to this real quick. All right, I'm going to go back to that chart, but this is Market Watch front page. It wants to know what, this is today, why is it that people are so down on the economy when the stock market is at record highs? Now, you and I talked about more propaganda, more deceptions, and more distractions. Listen to this. Again, this is from today. They want you to believe, front page of Market Watch, inflation has slowed. No, it hasn't. By their own numbers, inflation continues to rise. Unemployment remains subdued. By their own numbers, inflation just went up. And wages continue to rise. In no way, shape, or form are wages rising enough to keep up with even the numbers they're throwing at us with regard to inflation, not the real ones here. So why are people so downbeat on the economy? Because they're being strangled to death. They're being forced to deal with, in this case, the Federal Reserve, who is inflating on a scale that we've never seen before in the history of the world. And now they want us to believe that this environment is just by accident, why we're seeing this inflationary environment right now. But wait a minute. No, according to this, inflation is it's slowing. No, it isn't slowing. But again, it's the deception. It's the propaganda. You can't make this stuff up. Now, with regard to inflating by any means, this is an interesting piece of work here. Let me just read this to you. The United States spends more on defense than the next 9 countries combined. This is by Peter G. Foundation here. Defense spending by the United States. Are you ready for this, Carlos? Thank you. Accounting for nearly 40% of military expenditures by countries around the world. I mean, could you imagine this? So this is, again, where does this cash come from? Tax revenue? How about no? It's coming from the Fed, who's more than willing to lend. We are being destroyed. I can't even say, well, from the inside, obviously. But this mechanism here is propping up a corpse. America is a failed state. And you cannot run these kind of deficits without there being a side effect. The side effect here, massive currency devaluation, as the Fed makes up the difference here to print all this cash out of thin air. Okay, to make up that difference there, and they're buying it all. They are very happy to lend, as you all know. Now, this is something else I want to talk to you also about today. And this is, again, a big, humongous piece of propaganda. And I wanted to just cover this real quick. So the headline is inflation's persistence. Oh, wait a minute. No, this is saying it's slowing down. Oh, duh. Okay. Inflation's persistence creates a dilemma for the Federal Reserve. Let me explain to you the dilemma of the Federal Reserve. They couldn't be happier. They're laughing at you. They're laughing at me, and they're laughing at everybody here. What the Fed is doing right now, again, you have to understand, maybe you're new here. If you are, I'm going to let you know a secret that we all know. You ready to know what the secret is? The more debt the Federal Reserve can issue, the more debt that they're called on to issue for military spending, making up debts and deficits. We can't pay our bills here in the United States. The stronger the institution becomes. Mitch knows what I'm talking about, not the weaker. And a lot of you think, I don't know who's spreading this propaganda. The Fed is trapped. The Fed is going down. I don't know who it is. Whoever it is does not understand what's happening here. Okay, the Fed has a plan, along with other central banks, that's over a century in the making, and we're seeing exactly what we have been told they're going to do. This is it. Okay, they are the most powerful organizations on the planet, and they are the one real government that we've been warned about since forever here. We are forced to live in their system. So understanding that this is just more propaganda, Americans' intense dislike for inflation poses a significant challenge for the Federal Reserve. Now, the Fed's going to use any means that they could come up with to inflate more so from here. Now, with regard to this gap, going to get a lot wider. Debts and deficits going to balloon, as you well know. Inflation is going to get a lot worse from here, and then they're going to tell you how everything is absolutely fine. You can't make this stuff up. Again, you know what's happening. The world economy is being deconstructed piece by piece by piece in order to issue in a brand new system. And as the world economy comes down around us, Mojo Rising, I like that. Thank you. The stock market is going to go higher until it doesn't. Now, I believe, again, this issue here of risk, the Fed's going to buy more debt. Okay, the market's betting on it. As a market guy, and that's all I am, I know that's going to happen here. More debts, more deficits, more easy money, and more promises from people running for president or whatever that they want a weaker dollar. They want suppressed rates by the Fed. And of course, this is what exactly what the Fed wants to hear, and that they have an ally in the White House. You understand? Current guy doesn't know which way is up, down, or anything else. if Trump is selected, again, whoever they select is a traitor and is not on your side. All they're looking for is another puppet that's going to cause the Fed to inflate further. Again, we're already being told how it's going to work. Okay. So that's the way it's going to go. You focus on the border and immigration, which are substantial things. Okay. But keep your eyes off of the Fed because you're not supposed to be looking over there. Okay. That should tell you something else. Larry knows what I'm talking about. Thank you. Anyway, who's my puppet? I am a puppet to no one, and I answer to nobody. I can't be bought. I am not influenced by money. If I were, believe me, I'd be advertising for people that I could triple my income if I just started pushing products and stuff on this blog, which I won't do. Because again, I don't want people to say, oh, Greg is only saying this because he's pushing this or he's pushing that. I'm telling you the way it is. And my style ain't for everybody. I already hear from people, oh, Greg, you're arrogant. Oh, Greg, you're this. Or Greg, you're this. I've heard everything on the face of the earth. Look, if you don't like my style, then why are you here? There's a lot of other people that are going to blow sunshine up your crack. If you can't handle the truth, I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, what can I tell you? So that's kind of where we stand today. And again, the beauty of what we're seeing for ourselves here, again, we got each other's back, period. All right. We've been in the right spots for a very, very long time. Now, with regard to this, again, someone asked me a question about the MMRI, okay, as a risk indicator. We all have a different tolerance here. My tolerance is off the Richter scale with regard to risk. And I also believe in my heart, and I've been telling you, that I think the Fed's going to inflate. We're going to see more debts and deficits balloon out of control, more easy money, currency devaluation. And what does that mean? The stock market's going higher. Stock market's going higher. I can't say that another way. But that does not mean that you should be all in on the stock market. No, you should be gaining exposure, as I've been telling you for I don't know how long, commodities, more specifically gold, silver, obviously crude oil as well. This stuff here, this is the long term. Look, we're playing a long game here, meaning it not long, but we're betting everything's going to go up higher forever. No, long game, because people ask me that question, means that we're thinking down the line here. We're not like a little an animal or a child that live in the moment. We are adults, meaning that we got to think further down the line. And I can't imagine a better spot for us to be in here. We've been doing the same thing for many, many years now. We know what's happening because we understand who the enemy is. The enemy is central banks. Period. The end. The rest of it's a sideshow. It's an act. The whole political spectrum. It might as well be a sitcom. Nothing is real. You don't believe that what you're seeing by the mainstream media is actually real, do you? They're all players. They're all playing their own little parts here. Okay. It's a grand deception on a scale that has never been seen before and may never be seen again as this thing is being deconstructed. Anyway, so what do you think about this? Defense spending by the United States accounted for nearly 40% of military expenditures by countries around the world. Mechanism to inflate because we don't have the cash. You have to understand, where does all the cash come from? I'm writing notes to myself. Inflate by any means. Here, another way to inflate. Running unbelievable deficits here. Ballooning debt. Interest on the debt. All this cash that's borrowed into existence, well, who's supplying it? It's the Federal Reserve, or in this case here. And we, you and me, we voted for this, right? Our loving, caring representatives, they represent us, right? We now owe interest on all of that. And they suck it right out of you, and you have no choice but to pay. Oh, yeah, tell me again how free you are. Land of the free, home of the brave, huh? Sorry, not today. All right, people. Anything else that you guys and girls want to cover before we go? Greg is a JP Morgan puppeteer. How does that work, KJM? You think I work for JP Morgan? Wow. I do not work for any. I work for you guys. That's who I work for. And I feel like it is a profound responsibility for me to provide all of you with information that is actionable. And again, look, when I come out here and I say something, Don't take any of it at face value. All of this stuff that I'm showing you, all of this stuff is right at your fingertips. You don't have to go to a library anymore. Just check it all out for yourself. Hey, is Greg telling me the truth, or is this not really true? I think it's kind of a no-brainer here. Now, just real quick, one last time. This does bother me, and I'm not gonna lie. I was hoping we were not going to come up above here, this line here, which was, well, now is going to become support. Let's see where this goes. Let's see how the market swallows that. Anyway, but it's not going to change nothing. I will continue to remain long. I will continue to add to my positions here across the board. And I'm talking about positions in gold and silver and platinum, palladium, and cryptocurrency as well. All this stuff, because all the easy money that's going to be pumped in here, okay, as we move forward to the selection, all it's going to do is make the underlying issues monumentally worse. Freedom for all. Thank you. You got it. And then again, look, let them play their games. We have them outsmarted at every single corner. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. And I love that. I love sitting here as kind of the daddy, being able to, lay this all out for all of you. And I believe in what I believe is a concise way, an easy to understand way, so we can counter strategize. Again, whatever they do, there's going to be a counter strategy against it. And I think, again, betting against the debt, becoming your own central bank, that is, holding hard assets, silver more specifically, gold, platinum, palladium as well, gaining exposure to commodities, staying long the stock market, putting a little cryptocurrency away, maybe putting assets in, I don't know, classic guitars and artwork and stuff. This is where you need to be if you can. And if you can't, if you can only own one thing, here it is. That's it, in my view. All right, now with that said, people, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you got something out of this, and I want to hear from you. Do you think this is, again, is this a comedy of errors as well? How we were running basically neck and neck for, like, I don't know, half of this time, and then all of a sudden we exploded like that? You think that just by mistake? I don't think so. This is again, it's a failed state, and there's no way to salvage it, because this thing is being brought down by design, and I think we're all on the same page here. It's a tragic comedy. It is in some ways. And unfortunately, people are going to be destroyed. And you and I are going to have to deal with a lot of it, moving forward here. That's why I really hope that we can get through to people, you know what I mean, out here, and try to make a positive difference in people's lives. And that's pretty much it, man. That's it. All right, look, this guy here from the heart loves you, and I mean that. I will see all of you in the morning. We'll get through it. It's going to be lovely and fun and everything else. And with that said, till I see you again, take care of yourselves and take care of each other.